Hello everyone, we are today going to see what is multithreading. First of all, what is thread? Thread are the lightweight processes at the overhead of the switching between the threads and the layers that, that can be easily swamped, and the Java virtual machine swamps the threads when your program run call the main thread. So basically thread is a one execution sequence of your program. When your process is divided into the multiple threads, then your process will be executed very fastly, because thread is a simultaneously runs within your other thread in a single process. Threads are basically used to applications where multiple tasks are simultaneously done. So thread is very useful things in programming in Java. Why do we need two threads? To enhance our parallel processing, to increase response to the users, to utilize the idle time of the CPU, prior prioritized your work depending on the priority. So threads, so we are you basically using threads for this some basic reasons. Examples: consider this. We are going to see some of the example of the threading applications which are using threads. Consider the simple web servers. The web server listens for the request and the server serves it. If the web server has not multi-threaded, the request processing would be in a queue, thus the increasing the response time, and also might hang the server if there was a bad request. By implementing in the multi-threading environment, the web server can be served multiple requests simultaneously, thus improving response time. So the web servers like anything web hosting servers, they are accepting many requests per day, so they are need to serve the web pages to the users. If they are not using multi-threading, then they might be hang because of thousands of users accessing the web server documents. So they to need this ability to, so web server need to implement threading. So that's using threading they can serve every user's web page. How to create a thread? In the Java, thread can be created by extending the Java thread class, or implementing the runnable interface. So we can implement a thread in Java using runnable interface, and also extending thread class. It is a more preferable to implement the runnable interface so that we can extend the properties from the other class. So basically, more preference way of implementing thread is using the runnable interface, because of if we need to extend other properties from the other classes, if we use a thread class, then we can't extend other class, because Java does not permit the multi inheritance. So that's why more preference way to implementing thread is runnable interface, using implementing run method, which is the starting point for the thread. The run method, which is the belong to the runnable interface, is the start method for the threads. Running threads, basically we are going to see a small example here. I implement the runnable interface, and I implement his public void run. So I override method, I implement, sorry, this is the interface, runnable is the interface, and interface does not provide any implementation for the method. So I implement the runnable run method. Then in my class, in public void main, I create the one instance of the thread class, and then I run the run method using t dot start. Synchronization means synchronize a multiple thread to doing task in a one by one method. If we have some public resource, and we want to use their public resource in the all the thread one by one, then we need to use synchronization in that threads. Examples, we are going to see one example, two examples here. Clashing maybe occurs in both method, testing can be occurs. So we put the synchronization keyword above the both methods, so clashing avoids. What static, if the method is static, then we can also put the static static keyword first and then after synchronized keyword, so that was clashing maybe eliminate some mistakes. If we use a static keyword for one method and synchronized keyword for one method, we so both are the method are different. One is a class method, class member method, and one is the object method. So this kind of mistake maybe we can do. So careful about that. Object locking. Object locking is nothing. If we put our run method in the synchronized block, then it's called the object method. Object locking. So friends, this is the multi-threading, and multi-threading is very useful in Java. Using multi-threading, we can create the applications which are very responsive, very speedy, because of thread are simultaneously run in the processors. Okay, thank you.